Welcome to the Buds and Reality Show. I'm Sean Collins, the guy with a lot to say. And guess who's back?
What up, y'all?
Is back. My co-host, man, it's been a minute. Our schedules have not been the best lately because I have been home and you've been working two jobs.
I don't get tired.
I know. That's so crazy, but you got to do what you got to do. You're manning up. You got a family to take care of. Mad respect for all that.
Every morning I cut up some, white lines of powdered sugar and I just throw it in my mouth and go, what were you guys thinking about, huh? What are you guys thinking about?
Pudding. That's
that
what I
and
was
lots
thinking
of,
about.
Bubba the Mouse favorite cold coffee in the morning. I love this shit. I live for this shit.
Black coffee, right? You don't put anything in it.
I like my coffee like how I like my women, bitter.
Damn. I was gonna say I like my coffee like I like my women, sweet and blonde, but my wife's a brunette, so I need to watch that.
Now my wife's gonna hear that shit when she watches this and beat my ass, so I'm ready for it.
Yeah, we're always in trouble. What else is new?
She knows I run my mouth.
God bless our wives. Really, they put up with us. It's crazy. But dudes, before we bring in the fuckery, I want to say some things to the listeners and the people who have reached out. It has been a rough couple of months for me between my health scare and my dog dying. That actually broke my heart. Anybody who's reached out, thank you. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Like, that it really meant a lot, that broke my heart putting Boomer down. So, but anyway,
you've had
much into that.
You've had a lot of things going on, and you know what, man, we were all there for you. We were all happy to be there for you. Now I just got one question for you.
I really appreciate that.
I got one question for you though, Sean. What's the next thing to happen, and then how soon do you drop your first ever country album?
I know, right? I probably could write a country album after all this shit. But what's next is just grinding, dude. I'm allowed to go back to work. If anybody needs some paint jobs, get a hold of me. I've been cleared to work. Cool shit, by the way, for anybody who prayed or gave me good vibes. I don't need surgery.
Fuck yeah, that's great.
I thank you very much for all the good juju and the good vibes, folks, and the prayers, because I got to get the lovely camera up my keister and they went fishing around in there to see what was wrong. And they didn't find nothing, dude. No, nothing. So they said, they found my diverticulitis and they said, hey, you just got to watch what you eat. We don't see no reason for surgery. I'm like, praise God.
Now, speaking about watching, you're doing like a lifestyle change. Any thoughts of like doing like workout routines too? Because this is the time of year when people are still trying to keep up New Year's resolutions.
They are trying to keep up New Year's resolutions, and I am going to finally start working out and stuff. I didn't want to do anything too crazy until I got my final test per se done.
Right.
And so now that that's good, I'm going to get into a routine. I'm getting into combat shape, brother. Because for real, like I'm going to start MMA training, not just to go fight in the ring. I don't want to do all that shit, but I am going to MMA train. I'm going to weight train. I'm getting into combat shape because that time's coming, fellas, where us men are going to have to be men. So, everybody really just needs to, fellas, even ladies. I mean, there's ladies out there working out. Look at Sam, the Quantum Revival that was on the show. She's out there killing it. Working out and doing her thing and putting her health message out there. She's been, I've been paying attention to her and she was great to have on the show. She'll be back. But let's get into the fuckery, man. We haven't been on in a couple weeks together, and let's bring back the fuckery. Enough with this woe is me bullshit. Just thank you everybody for looking out and being there. I love you guys. But
to the fuckery we go.
To the fuckery we go, dude. And I guess the first order of fuckery is going to be the Grammys.
Oh, man.
I mean, we do talk about music on this show, so we might as well bring in the satanic worship of the Grammy show.
Had to wash your eyes out with holy water and shit. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Jesus Christ. At this point, it's like, how much is too much? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the enough? What is the envelope to be pushed now on a stage for a performance? I have no fucking clue.
I mean, I get it.
We've seen a lot of shock and awe. We have seen a lot of shock and awe, but this is out there.
It was pretty out there, but artists do shit like this all the time. Like, I've been to a shit ton of Slayer shows and they'll have like pentagrams up and shit and nobody's saying anything about that. besides like maybe the hardcore Christians or whatever. Was it a satanic cult thing? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. It could be looked at as art. I do know this. It did look sketchy. You got a dude dressed up as the devil dancing around. There's, half naked women shaking their ass and titties in his face. There's fire and everything's blacked out and red, but
technically it went perfectly with the song. It was called Unholy.
And so, but check this out, you guys. Riddle me this. Where the fuck are you even watching the Grammys anyways? That show has been garbage for decades. I haven't watched the Grammys in probably over 20 years. Dead serious. I don't watch that shit. It's a terrible show. The committee's garbage. They never, like you said something earlier, like Eminem could have the best album of the year, and they'll go pick some artists that, that nobody's ever heard of, and he wins the album of the year over Eminem. And the Grammys have done that shit over and over and over again. Like back in the day, and I can't remember what year it was, but I remember it was either best metal performance or best metal act or whatever it may be. But it was Metallica versus
I know where you're getting on this
some other bands, and Jethro Tull was in there. Now, Jethro Tull is an old school band, like 60s, 70s. The guy played a flute, the lead singer played a flute, not very metal, right?
Korn does
they beat Metallica. The Grammys gave Jethro Tull the Grammy over Metallica for like best metal act or some shit like that. And the dude plays a flute, and we're talking Metallica.
Yeah.
Like for
heavy
me, that's
metal
the Grammys
flutes.
lost all credibility, man. Like all credibility. I can't watch that garbage. It's terrible.
Heavy
they
metal
never
flute.
have rock acts on anymore.
Yeah, it's gonna be Spinal Tap Part 2, man. I swear to God. Flutes up the asses. That's what's be called, bro.
And there's a lot of people didn't even go to that show because they know the committee's garbage and they don't want to be a part of it. Like most people don't even care about Grammys anymore. They don't give a fuck about winning Grammys.
I want to ask more of who even listens to popular music, because that's honestly what it's all about with Grammys and everything. I'm still on the, I guess, underground game when it comes to local to just national, didn't really peak bands and hip hop artists. That's what I'm all about these days. I really don't care about who's the best on the radio.
Now, that's funny you bring up that, because they did a big homage to hip hop at the Grammys that, I saw clips of or whatever. And I'll tell you this right now. The only reason all those rappers went to that show and performed is because they did that homage, the 50-year anniversary of hip hop music, because the Grammys have continuously shit on hip hop over and over again. Like hip hop artists aren't really keen on the Grammy show. So for them to do that, big deal, 50 years of hip hop, that's probably the only reason those hip hop artists went and did that, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the only thing that brought them in. If there was no homage, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, because
and I don't blame them.
Why would they want to be a part of something that, that continuously shit on their game per se, their genre? Like I wouldn't want to be a part of something like that. And I wouldn't want to be a part of it anyways, because the committee's full of shit, So if you don't want to be mad at the Grammys anymore, don't fucking watch them. It's that simple. It's garbage anyways. You got better things to do with your life than watch that.
Well, things like the Grammys, the Golden Globes, and the Oscars, the numbers keep plummeting. So that's all right.
So that was probably why they reached out and was like, let's do this 50-year homage to hip hop, which is great. I love hip hop. We both love hip hop. We did a show about our favorite hip hop albums.
Yeah.
And I've actually been listening to a ton of Tupac lately, for real. Like that's all I've listened to for.
Good morning, NSA. He did.
Yeah, for about God, probably since Boomer died. Really, I've been listening to a bunch of Tupac. It's weird. And that's
stay away from Hail Mary, bro.
Come with me. Hey, that song's
more toss it up, okay? Just more of that stuff.
I've been more like Crazy. I like that song Crazy.
That's
and Unconditional. Man. Those have been like on repeat a lot lately, my two Tupac songs. And Changes, Changes is more of the radio friendly, Tupac songs I just rattle off. But dude, let's see what's next, brother. We should probably we better just do it and get it done, because I'm pissed off about it, and I know you're fucking pissed off about it. Tyree Nichols, dude.
Oh fuck. Yeah, we're there. Another incident that never should have freaking happened, man. It's terrible. To all my friends out there who still serve as police, I don't know how you do it because people look at you sideways all day, every day. Um, we no longer can use there's a bad bunch of apples doesn't ruin an orchard. We really can't be using that phrase anymore. We have to really hold them accountable for what they do. It's very unacceptable. No matter what stories behind the scenes, like, oh man, they really dumbed down the requirements to become a cop there, and they could they had ties to them, and I don't buy that one bit. Um, we have to hold our police accountable so this shit really stops because they're supposed to help people. I mean, the guy was in no way threat to dying. No way.
Right. I mean, so I'll be 43 years old at the end of this month.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting old. I'm OG, man. OG, triple OG, man. I have look at all this gray hair in my beard. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
But look at you too. Except you're salt and pepper, and I'm salt and paprika because I'm a ginger.
Look, when this all goes gray, I'm gonna be a silverback. It's all good, bro.
That's right. That's right. But that being said, I am old enough to remember, and music has been very huge for me culturally when it comes to learning about things outside of my normal. I grew up in a small town. I'm a small town white kid, and so, I didn't see things like police brutality, and I was always raised to think the police were the good guys and they were there to help. And maybe some of them are still. I'm not going to say they're all bad apples, but it's not looking good for cops right now. But what I'm getting at is, bands like, or groups like NWA were coming out with songs called Fuck the Police. And it was about police brutality. And, that was well over 30 years ago now. And I'm old enough to remember the police beating the living fuck out of Rodney King.
Oh yeah, then years later here in Detroit, Malice Green.
And then Malice Green here in Detroit. Now, these rappers, including Ice-T, who actually came out with a song a couple years later after Fuck the Police called, Cop Killer. That was about police brutality. So we have been discussing and bringing up the topic of police brutality well over 30 years now. And I'm sure it's beyond that. It's well beyond that. This is just my knowledge of knowing, and how I've learned about said things. This has been going on for decades and decades and decades, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. And people are saying, well, why are we seeing more and more and more and more of this? I don't think it's more and more and more of this. I think there's more cameras out there that are catching this. I don't think it's more and more. I don't think it's ever stopped.
No, and that's a good thing.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a good. No. I'm not saying it hasn't stopped. I mean, it's a good thing that there's so many more cameras to catch this shit.
They're
to hold people accountable.
So, you get Tyree Nichols. What is there? 5 cops, I think. 5 of them. There's at least 4.
Yeah, there's
Kicking
4.
the living fuck out of this man. Bubba, they drug him out of his fucking car and beat the fuck out of him. Mercilessly.
And it wasn't like he was a big guy, man. You know what I'm saying? The guy was
5
not that
on
big.
1. There's 5 on 1. The man is not armed. Oh, and by the way, conservatives who say he should have just complied. Oh, fuck you. How about that? Nobody deserves that. I don't give a fuck what he did. Nobody deserves that. Unless he pulled a weapon on those police, he didn't fucking deserve that.
And the crazy thing is like when George Floyd came out, you had so many conservatives going, oh, we still back the blue and everything. But when this shit happens because they were black police officers, I didn't hear one fucking thing of back the blue.
No, all I heard was he should have just complied. He should have just complied. He should
which draws a map to other thoughts. And I've pretty much made up my mind on how a lot of people are. Do better, America. Back to you on that one, man. But yeah, it's bullshit.
Well,
It
I
really
mean,
is.
nothing's gotten better. They haven't ended qualified immunity, and that's why these fucking pigs do this shit, is because they're protected by qualified immunity. And if you don't know what that means, it pretty much means that the police can fucking violate your constitutional rights with no repercussions. I'll beat your fucking ass to death. That's what it means.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now before we say anything else. We have to watch what we say because we'll have people knocking on our door.
Hey, come on and
But
knock.
however,
Come on, Fed boys, come knock on the door.
But the ultimate question I want to ask: the next time this happens, especially of this magnitude, when is it when those around what's going on no longer watch? They start defending.
And that's what I brought up before. I got into a pretty cool thread with Donnie the Don on Twitter about it. And I was like, I would never just hold a camera and watch that fucking happen to somebody. I would act no matter what. Like, even if the cops wanted to shoot me or beat my ass too, like, I would react. I'm not going to just watch somebody or watch these fucking cops just beat the shit out of somebody. I can't do that. It's not in me.
And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who feel just like you. Like, you remember watching the movie Police Academy where the whole town just rioted on a handful of cops? Yeah, that's, if this keeps going that way, it's going to happen. Do better, police, please. America's not going to take this anymore.
No, I my hands are tied. Like, I don't know what else to say besides what the fuck. It's time to react. Stop letting this happen. Stop letting it happen to your fellow humans. Seriously. These cops are no better than any of us. They wear a badge and carry a gun. Fuck them, dude.
I'm wondering, did anybody try to call the police on the police during the situation? Like, wow, man, the police are really beating on this guy. You guys should really get police out here. I know, sounds weird.
All I know is that the government isn't going to do anything about it because they've been doing this for decades now and nothing's fucking changed. So it's up to us to police ourselves, folks. That's all I'm saying. Strap up, get your guns, buy ammo, and protect yourself. Because the police aren't here to protect you. There's been 2 different Supreme Court justice hearings that have blatantly said the cop's job is to not protect you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
let that sink in for a minute, folks. This has been going on forever, and it's up to us to make it stop because we will never get help from the government. I think we might have to move on from this because I'm getting really fucking angry about it, man.
All right, next topic.
Anyways. Sorry, folks. State
of the
Union.
Oh.
Which is another thing I did not watch, by the way, because I'm not wasting my hours watching.
But I told you to go back and watch it, dude. It's just full of banter back and forth, and how Biden said how Republicans are trying to eliminate pretty much social services, and then majority of the Republicans shouting back, liar, liar, liar. I'm just sitting there going, dude, I'm actually kind of happy because my favorite politics in the entire world is Canadian politics. Why? Because when they're in the parliament, they argue and they do what I think they should be doing. That is how I think Congress should be ran. However, we all know that money goes to the pockets and people shut the fuck up. But I enjoyed it for what it was. Guys, remember, I'm pretty much nonpartisan at this moment. I do believe in libertarian beliefs. I don't give a fuck, though, about red, blue, pink, white, purple. I don't give a fuck what color you have. Yellow I'll rock with. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. I say, watch it burn. It's beautiful. Watch it burn.
Burn it down, man. Burn. Let it burn.
I'm like the Joker in The Dark Knight. I just like to watch things burn. I want to watch the world burn.
Dude, and I will dance around that fire butt ass naked too. I don't give a fuck.
Playing the flute.
Not the skin flute, damn it.
Oh, hey, you're the one who put skin flute on there. But
Hey,
no,
but
no, no.
know some of our
It's
listeners would have took it there for sure.
but it's all crazy because they brought up things such, hey, guns are back on the table, and well, folks, when it comes to assault weapons, this is what I challenge you to do, and I'm willing to give you my entire pension and my yearly salary of low dollars. Anyway,
Ooh, I like this. Where's this going?
I want you to go to a gun shop. I want you to see the first guy behind the counter be like, "Sir, I'm interested in an assault weapon." Word for word. That's what I want you to say. Or ma'am, or whatever, because it's 2023, can't judge. But I want you to tell that person, "I would like your finest assault weapon." And then try not to get laughed out of the store. I really want you to do that. I want you to do that.
I
If
mean,
you accomplish such fate of purchasing that firearm, an assault weapon, and not get laughed out of the store, now they got to agree. Yep, assault weapon. Here, I got the finest one right here for you. And if they don't pop out a fucking Nerf gun for making fun of you, you get every last red cent of my money.
that's a bold statement there, brother.
That's because it's a factual statement there,
I know,
brother.
man. I know it's
Look,
ridiculous.
the
So
people that bitch about guns are the ones that never try to purchase a gun. They know nothing about guns other than what's mainstream media and Hollywood has told you. Apparently, every single, we'll go ahead and say AR, even though they can't say, oh, yeah, it's a tactical 22 or it shoots 5.56 or an M4 or a carbine. They can't mention any of that shit. But hey, they all assume that you pull the trigger in one clip, not magazine. Nobody calls magazines clips who owns firearms for real. All the bullets are gone. Which, by the way, bullets are just the shell casings and everything. It's just a little piece, the round and everything. We call them rounds. It's just not bullets. If you just put bullets in the gun, they don't go anywhere. You need the whole fucking round, the cartridge, the gunpowder, and everything. So know what you're fucking talking about when it comes to firearms.
you mean AR doesn't stand for assault rifle?
God damn it. Really? God damn it. When people keep when people keep saying AR, all you're doing is giving Armalite the biggest promotion that they never had to pay for in their entire fucking business established whenever it was established. Like you're literally giving them free publicity. AR this, AR that. You can get a cheap version of an AR. It's called an HK, Heckler and Koch, and it is a less expensive version of a tactical 22.
But hey, the media will be like the assault weapons, and it's always assault weapon. They gotta have their fucking words, to make it.
Did you also hear about assault pistols? That's apparently on the table now. Assault pistols.
Well, because he's trying to take every semi-automatic weapon off the fucking market. Is what they're trying to do. Which most all pistols are semi-auto.
Anything that takes a magazine is semi-automatic. That means one trigger squeeze, one bullet. The round is loaded and waiting for you to squeeze the trigger again. Folks, I just literally gave you the definition of semi-automatic, and I didn't have to look it up.
Oh, by the way, Bubba's a veteran, so he knows. Just
11 Bravo.
But Bubba's third time,
Machine gunner. Kind of know what I'm talking about.
So, I didn't watch the speech, but I can probably give you a rundown on what he said. Probably proposals for more taxes, gun control, which we were just talking about, and corporate welfare. I'm sure that it came up too. But let's go there. Let's stick with the fucking guns real quick, because we have a Republican-led Congress now, right? And you would think, yeah, exactly. You make that face. I do the same thing. But, particularly we have a Republican-led Congress who will probably protect some of the gun assault weapon bans that are coming through, or will they? Because, all it takes, the margin between in the House or whatever is not very big. Like, the Republicans barely have the House.
Oh,
so
skin to their teeth.
Yeah. So all it takes is, probably a good handful of Republicans or so to vote pro assault weapon ban, and that shit will fly through the Senate.
Now, remember, folks, Republicans technically banned bump stocks, which was, in my opinion, the stupidest fucking addition you could put on a firearm. It doesn't do anything to your damn triggers, please. This moves faster than a fucking bump stock.
Right.
So yeah, don't be shocked if it does get pushed, because if it does get pushed, it's gone. Now, here's the thing. Is it a grandfathered thing? Because everybody who owns them, because remember, there's a lot of Americans that own firearms. On average, every American, they say, owns 2 firearms, which is great.
2.
We need more.
Yeah, those numbers got to go way up.
Oh, they got to go super, super, super high. But is there a grandfather, or are people actually going to be coming knocking on your doors and everything? But then again, we've always said, if you want my firearms, you may receive them barrels first.
Well, here's what I'm going to say about gun control right now, and I'm going to get real serious for a minute. Real serious.
Proper gun control is using both hands.
So we're going to turn my hat around for this one, because I'm
you're going to work.
Oh, I'm going
to work.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the government is not taking our guns. They are not. That's not happening. They can try all they want, but let it be known right now, we will not be stopped owning guns. We will not stop printing guns. We will not stop building guns. We will not stop buying ammo. We will not stop repacking our ammo. And anybody who tries to come and take our guns will be met with very, very much resistance. I'm not fucking playing. For real.
Well, the good news,
the printer goes burr, okay?
You have
we will print our guns.
You have a lot of sheriffs saying that they will not uphold that. And when it comes to actually 3D printing guns, guys, that's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. It's literally good for 1 round. On average, I'm seeing 3D printed guns. They're not lasting at all. They can't handle the blowback and the gun explodes. So that's a food for thought right there, folks.
I mean, but you're gonna have to have something. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm all for printing guns. Print guns, not money. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's coming to take our guns. They will be met with very, very much resistance.
I'll just say this. I can make one hell of a potato shooter. I know how to make potato shooters, so I'm good.
But what else happened at that State of the Union, by the way, that everybody's talking about, including me, because I think it's thoroughly disgusting. But
how disgusting is it, Sean?
Probably one of the most grotesque things I've seen in a while. And I'm talking about Kamala Harris's husband making out with Jill Biden at the State of the Union. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it wasn't a peck on the cheek, dude. It wasn't like, hey, how you doing? It wasn't like a whatever. Like, they locked lips, dude, on camera. Everybody saw it. It looked very inappropriate in my eyes.
Wash your mouth out with comment.
But like, it goes to show that those people have no morals or values whatsoever. Because I'll tell you what, dude, and I'm sure you feel the same way. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, though. But if somebody leaned in to kiss my wife like that, they're getting these fucking hands. 100%.
Yeah. Cheek, no problem.
No
Forehead, sure.
Like, that was a straight up lip lock, dude. And he leaned in for it first, like he wanted it.
You know why?
Easy.
Because he's deprived.
Yeah,
I mean, you know why? She's deprived. But then again, I have a feeling she's taken a couple stabs at Hunter.
Who knows? I mean, I bet you the government's kind of like the restaurant industry, where everybody just kind of fucks each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's anybody who's worked in a restaurant knows. I mean, that's just kind of what it is. It's a cesspool of sex.
That's all it is, really. That's all it is. Those after work parties are never spoken about, folks.
Yeah, and the many walks of shame that all of us have probably done throughout the years of our
no shame in
the service industry, walking out of somebody's house. Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's the same thing in government. I guarantee it, because they probably spend the majority of their time together and work odd hours, whatever. It's gross. I can't believe that actually happened. I can't believe it, but online for them to catch it like that. And
speaking about government, I kind of want to kind of want to hold on just a tidbit before we move on here, Sean,
Yep.
because as you folks can see, this lovely person behind me, we all recognize this person.
Yes, we do.
Anyway, she's been pretty interesting the last week and a half because, Ilhan Omar just got released from her duties and everything, and her and the squad got on there to say how unjustified it was because it was racism. And once again, this lovely thing behind me put twang on her voice to try to sell it like how she did a couple times before, because she doesn't speak like that. And then within the last few days, she's been doing hearings about libs of TikTok and the Hunter Biden thing that was blocked on Twitter and how it was all fake. Dude, this shit is fucking hilarious. You can't make this shit up. The Hunter Biden shit came out as it was suppressed by, like, the FBI went to what's his name, Jack Bestow, who was doing who was running Twitter and everything.
Oh, geez, I don't remember. It's hard to keep up with all that shit, honestly.
And they actually told him to suppress the laptop story during the election. That shit legit came out. And then you had Washington Post, New York Times, like, they wouldn't reveal that same story, but it came out truthful that, yeah, Hunter Biden's laptop is real and all the fucked up shit on it is real. So once again, folks, when you think, oh, the government would never do that, yes, they fucking will.
Yes, the fuck they will, and yes, they have.
Yes, they fucking will, and yes, they just fucking did.
They'll do whatever they want, and it's that whole bullshit and, everything with the Twitter. Like, I just saw Lauren Boebert giving, the people from Twitter the business at that hearing or whatever. And she kept saying, like, and a couple other conservatives said it too, like, thank God for Elon Musk. What the fuck you thanking God for Elon Musk for? Seriously.
I mean, in my
he's
opinion,
not that, like, whatever. I love Twitter or whatever, but like,
I was just trying to tweet yesterday and I couldn't tweet at all, and neither could you. Like, what the fuck was going on for a little bit? I was like, oh, dude, people are coming at me again.
Well, like, I'm not praising God for some guy who bought fucking Twitter. Get out of here. That's so ridiculous. I praise God for waking up and breathing air and, providing, shelter for me. I'm not praising God for some fucking dude who bought Twitter. Oh my God.
Yeah. People would say praise God about another person. It's just not right overall.
Like, what is wrong with people? Don't worship other people. Like, that's crazy. Like, think about this. People worship other people, especially when it comes to government. It's a cult.
Isn't that a part of sin?
Yeah, you're supposed to worship God, don't God.
Worshiping false idols.
Which is funny because a lot of the conservative Christians are out there worshiping Trump, and that's like a major sin, dude.
I'm not going to say anything too much about Trump, even though a lot of our listeners think for some reason I'm a Trump fan. Guys, it's been so many years. Lay off. Who cares? But in a recent poll that versus Biden and Trump, Trump's got the edge all of a sudden. And this time when they did that exact same poll, Biden was ahead. So shit is flipped.
This is why I smoke weed, ladies and gentlemen, because I can't fucking take that shit. Like, seriously, dude, are we really gonna, like, we're gonna run it back with Trump and Biden in 24?
That's like watching those two Super Bowls where it was the Buffalo Bills and Dallas Cowboys in back-to-back years. I just can't handle that shit.
Seriously, this is why I smoke weed, is because these people stress me out. No, I'm just kidding. I love weed and it's my medicine.
Do you remember, like, before the 2020 election, there's like, we want young, doesn't have to be a male running for president. Sorry, young white male. Doesn't have to be all those. And they exactly went polar opposite on the vote.
They come out with 2 geriatrics for round 2 to boot. But really, in theory, I feel like if this, if this does go down again between Trump and Biden, this might be the libertarians' time to really, really make some noise.
Oh, it'll
Because
be a good time
people
to make
will
noise.
reject this. A lot of people will reject this. They don't want this. Even the
Honestly,
people who voted for Biden last time don't want it.
I don't see Big Daddy DeSantis leaving Florida, man. He's got more work to do down there. Not to mention after he just took Dade County, which was a big shocker to everybody, folks.
You see Trump going after him right now, though? Holy shit, man. Trump's going hard on DeSantis right now. Pretty much calling him a pedo and shit. I'm like, pot calling the kettle black or what?
Yeah, that's pure irony, folks. Pure irony.
But
like with all the shit you pulled, bud, you're gonna go ahead and say that about Daddy DeSantis? No way.
Yeah, at least DeSantis doesn't have multiple pictures with Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh,
burn.
By the way,
oh, dude. Oh,
yeah, here we go.
My gosh, brother. I went down a rabbit hole. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you about this rabbit hole I just went down because this was a bombshell to me. Maybe not to most. Maybe I'm behind, on the times when it comes to this shit, but I went down a rabbit hole that was saying that Jeffrey Epstein was Mossad. You know what Mossad is, right?
Go ahead and tell the listeners.
Pretty much Israel's version of the CIA. So, holy shit, guys. And there's a lot of fingers that point to it, and I did some digging. You won't find it on Google. If you want to look some stuff up, go on Free Spoke. That's where I found it all. And a lot of it makes sense. I don't know how I totally feel about it yet, but I will say this. 85% of me believes that he was Mossad after reading what I read. And I've talked to a couple people who, would know a little bit more, and they were like, bingo, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So that being said, that would explain even more why he is so protected and why that list is so protected.
The list is so protected because...
Well, because the Mossad and the CIA are in cahoots, I'm sure of it.
We'll have a lot of quote-unquote white-collar protected criminals who are technically pedos.
Well, yeah, but look at how he, that's double protection now, because he's literally being protected by the Mossad and the American government.
It's bullshit.
Whoa, like
I hate all this shit.
If y'all want to look it up and make up your mind, go on Free Spoke and just, look up Epstein Mossad, and you'll find a whole laundry list of things. It's very interesting, and I most of me believes it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Holy shit, though. Wow. When you find something out like that years later, maybe I'm way behind on the punch on that one,
No, you're about right on time. That's about right on time.
But sorry for that, ADHD moment, squirrel. You know what I mean? I just had to get that out.
Squirrel.
Leave it. But let's talk about the balloon for a minute.
Yeah, mission accomplished, China. And then they decided to shoot it down. And it already crossed the damn country.
Yeah, it had already cleared all the way across the United States. So they got all whatever they needed.
If you don't think we just took the L on that, don't vote. Please don't. Please don't put any input on the country anymore.
You don't believe that was a psyop?
Oh, no, it was a psyop, but the government let it fucking happen too.
Yeah, I believe that was a psyop. But like Disclosed.tv just yesterday tweeted that other countries are now seeing the China balloons. I believe it said 3 other countries on the other side of the pond have seen the China balloons coming through there now.
My favorite thing is the general said, one of our generals said, they are a rising superpower. Bitch, they've always been a superpower. They've been a solid superpower.
Yeah.
Where the fuck have you been?
But like, seriously though, think about this. Really, really put this in your head, folks, because they kept calling it a Chinese spy balloon. Okay. Well, if it's a spy balloon, why the fuck did you just let it come clear across the United States to get whatever they needed to fucking get?
Because it could have had dirty material that would have endangered American citizens. There was plenty of open land that bitch flew over.
Seriously, like,
and not to mention, it also flew over sensitive areas that were supposed to be on the low.
yeah, it went over military bases and shit.
So
We know this.
just knowing that happened, I am like, we're in bed with China.
We're in bed with everyone. This government, this regime is 100% a part of the New World Order. Period.
Yeah.
100%. They want it. They want it bad. They want the one world government. This is what the WEF is about. This is what NATO is about. This is what the United Nations is about. It's about one world government. They want one governing body overseeing the entire world.
Now, riddle me this, Batman.
Absolutely not.
They keep telling us to hate Russia because of the shit in Ukraine, but we're in bed with China. China is literally a fart away from Russia.
They're in bed with Russia. They've been training.
Yet Russia has never put pressure on them. Okay. I see the picture now.
Yeah, they're literally working together. You know, the BRIC, which is, you know, China, and we've said this on past shows, you know, the BRIC with China and Canada and Qatar and Saudi Arabia, you know, and they're making their own CBDC, which is another thing, one world currency. They want everything one currency. That's why do you think CBDC? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? CBDCs are so wanted and welcomed by governments is because they want it. And we should reject that. We need to decentralize our money, because what happens if you get a digital currency, that means your money could be shut off at any moment by the government.
Oh yeah. Anything.
Anything.
You will own nothing and like it.
Even listen, I just had lunch with my mom, who happens to be a boomer, you know, and she is not down with the digital currency. She said the same thing. She's like, I don't want the government just to be able to turn off my money at any given moment.
Which is also going to go hand in hand with social credit scores. So sorry, Sean, you are going to be barred from a lot of places with your history, along with me. Me and you are going to be eating a lot of ramen noodles for the rest of our lives.
You know, but the what they're doing right now with the digital currencies and the WEFs and the NATOs, and it's all by design. It's all, you know, I sound like a conspiracy theorist right now, but trust me, you know, as Bubba was saying, our tinfoil hats are now crowns. You know, these countries are working together to take over us.
1984 is alive and well.
That is what's happening at this very moment. It's happening right under our skin, right under our noses. And most of us aren't doing anything about it. Wake up, folks. Come on, friends. Wake up.
I'm waiting for everything to turn into the Hunger Games. Our children are going to feed us.
Well, I mean, hey, man, when the dollar finally does collapse, and it will collapse, the United States will then turn into the Wild West. You'll all see that it will go down. When that dollar goes down, shit will get crazy. That's why I'm like, folks, buy guns, folks. Buy them and buy lots of them and buy ammo, because you're going to need to protect yourself and your family. I'm telling you right now.
Good news, Bass Pro and everything. Plenty of ammo. That's the odd thing. Last time I went to Bass Pro a few weeks ago, all the shelves were full, solid, overstocked.
Good, man. It's good.
Just doesn't make sense.
Now it's time to unstock those shelves. Go buy the ammo, folks. Go buy the guns. Come on. You're going to need them. So, you know, now that we're in the whole government and war talk and shit, we might as well talk about how we just sent 31 Abrams tanks to Ukraine, and we're still saying we are not a part of the war.
Did you say we sent Abrams tanks, or we sent a battalion of tanks? I misheard you.
Lots of fucking tanks, folks.
All right, let me go ahead and describe this for you, people. The United States military just does not go, hey, here's a gift, here's some tanks. That shit does not happen. 31 tanks. No, me and my buddy, we were in a tanketry unit. He was a tanker, I was infantry. They combined us for combined arms and sent us overseas. 31 tanks is a battalion of tanks, roughly. And not to mention, those tanks are not going solo. We will be sending a huge battalion over there. Now, whether it's to train the Ukrainian people on our Abrams tanks, I'm calling bullshit. And with those tanks, you're going to have feet on the ground, which another battalion of infantry are going to be heading over there. So, people, you've been lied to. We are in this war.
We're in it. And once the boots hit the ground, once we get guys with actual boots in the ground in Ukraine, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something right now. Millions of people will die when that war really jumps off. Millions. I'm talking millions, tens of millions of people are going to die. Is this what we want, ladies and gentlemen? Is this really what we want? And what does it have to do? Let's ask the questions. What does this war have to do with American freedom and or liberty? Nothing.
Not to mention, we're doing this war at the time where American citizens are at their worst.
We got inflation going through the roof. Veterans are starving. Children are starving. People are fucking dying on the streets because they don't have anywhere to go or no resources. But yet we're going to send hundreds of billions of dollars across the pond to go to fucking war to kill people. What the fuck?
Mind you, just in the clearance of a pandemic that a lot of people are still having many health issues with. They're still having long COVID and they're suffering. And they've been kicked off their health care and they can't take care of themselves. Like, why are we doing this to our people?
Seriously. And then trying to disarm us while arming people that aren't even here. They're not Americans. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Where's the loyalty lie, man? Y'all need to stand up for yourselves and reject this shit for real. End these fucking wars. Get these fucking asshats out of DC and take the fucking power back. It is time, folks. I'm not saying, take up arms. I'm not saying that. But it's time to go get fucking loud.
By the way, folks, if you're asking questions, what battalion might be going? I'm going to say something out of Fort Hood, Texas. That's my best bet.
Holy shit, you guys, this is not good. I don't want to see millions of people die. I don't want to see wars. I hate fucking war. Some of my best people, you've been to war. My best friend Chad's been to fucking war. What the fuck?
Yeah, we were nothing but
you guys have seen it up close and personal. It's hell. But yet we're going to continuously do this so they can line the pockets of the military industrial complex, who is pretty much the root of all evil when it comes to this shit. And defense contractors and fucking, Jesus Christ, you guys, come on, wake up to this shit. Honestly, wake up. It's time to wake up.
We've only been saying it for how many years, Sean?
Man, I love each and every one of you. I love people I don't even fucking know. That's why I do this show, dude. I don't do it for us. I don't do it for me. I don't do it for you. I do it for people who want to hear it. Who want to hear a message of what's going on in the world, dude. I don't want to black pill you guys all the fucking time. I want to get on this show and be like, everything's fucking great and the world's going to be fine. Instead of, hey, buy guns because we're going to have to defend ourselves. That's not what I want. I want to go have bonfires and play guitar. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
That's what life's all about. Not being scared to death of what the fucking government's going to do next.
Facts.
What the fuck? But enough with the black pill, and let's have a little bit of fun here, because Super Bowl Sunday.
We have America's favorite holiday next to Christmas coming up this Sunday.
Sunday.
Now, again, I will state this as a fact. The WWE is more believable than the NFL.
Whatever do you mean, Bubba?
Oh, I don't know. You have Patrick Mahomes, who's sponsored by State Farm, playing the Super Bowl at State Farm Stadium. Okay. That has enough meaning on it, too. And also, there's a whole bunch of fuckery throughout the whole playoffs, calls that were not called at all. That AFC Championship game between the Bengals and the Chiefs. Wow. You could tell it was scripted. And now you have all these players coming out that they were handed scripts in the beginning of the season. Alvin Kamara said that shit. Earl Campbell has spoke up on it. Yeah, former player from the Bears, Montgomery, said he quit because of it. He couldn't deal with this shit. So,
Wow.
but anyway, conspiracy's over. It's Super Bowl.
I know
We
your
got
hair's starting to turn into tinfoil, brother.
oh, I know.
That
Look at
sexy
that
quaff
shit.
you got
Look at that
going.
shit. Look at
If you
that.
guys,
It's my
if you're just
inner.
listening on the on Spotify or Apple or wherever you're listening to, and not on YouTube and seeing the video, you're missing this white man's afro.
Hey, first off, it's called a whoa. It's a whoa.
It's a fucking quaff, dude. Not
I
a
love it.
quaff.
It's my inner Ben Wallace.
That is, you are a white boy, Ben Wallace. Exactly.
I'm
I
a
like
white
it.
boy Ben Wallace. I
Love it, man.
Shit. Now,
But
do we call the Super Bowl, or do we call it the Reed Bowl for Andy Reid because coach both teams, or do we call it the Kelsey Bowl because we have the Kelsey brothers playing against each other?
I like the Reed Bowl just because I really
Reed
like Andy
Bowl.
Reid. I respect the fuck out of that guy, man.
What's Andy Reid's favorite food? Cheeseburgers.
Get him a cheeseburger, man.
Get
That's so
the man
awesome.
a cheeseburger.
My
I mean,
man, I love cheeseburgers too, man.
How do you not like Andy Reid? I mean, just overall wholesome, awesome guy.
Yeah.
He's a player's coach. Something that we're definitely doing here in Detroit with Dan Campbell. Now, I think this Super Bowl is going to be a legit shootout. Personally, I love the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. I absolutely do. That offense is so high powered, and now Jalen Hurts has had more than enough time to rest up to play this game. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes, though. Can't rule him out. And they have emerging players, especially when Tyreek Hill left. You got this Pacheco guy, number one. He is just all over the field, just like how Tyreek Hill used to be. Something to watch. But the Chiefs don't have the defense. They just don't. And the Eagles do. So that's where I land on that side.
I am going to go opposite of you because
that's good.
What I think is going to happen is it will be a shootout. I agree there. I really do agree there because really
a shootout.
Neither of their defenses are great. Philly's defense is a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But what it's going to boil down to is experience. And Casey has the experience. And I think that Philly will get another time. I think Jalen Hurts will get a ring at some point. I don't think it's happening this year. I'm riding with the Chiefs. Just because, well, that doesn't mean anything though. Like
you got to remember, Patrick Mahomes set a Super Bowl record in negative yards the last time he was there.
Right.
So he's going to want to redeem himself. But Jalen Hurts, he played SEC ball first. He played in Bama first before he went to Oklahoma, which means SEC, folks, that's also known as the minor leagues of the NFL. Yeah. Because that's where all the ballers play. That's one reason why I'm picking the Eagles. The other reason why I'm not picking the Chiefs, it's not because of Patrick Mahomes or any other player on that team. Because I love Travis Kelce. Oh, man, that guy's awesome. On and off the field, I think he's a great guy. I absolutely fucking hate Brittany Mahomes. I fucking hate her 1,000%. She's worse than Kelly Stafford could ever do here in Detroit. Holy shit. That brought I want to know. I just wish I was a fly on the wall. What it would be like at Patrick Mahomes' house, sitting down, trying to have a discussion of, hey, Brittany, you need to calm the fuck down. And then he goes to his little brother, who's like constantly at his games, TikToking and being disrespectful and shit, throwing drinks on fans. You need to calm the fuck down too. I'm the one that wears number 15 and I'm on the field. You're going to get me killed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I always wondered about Kelly Stafford when she would pop off at the mouth about the Lions or Matt or whatever. And I'm like, holy shit, girl. Like, I wonder if he ever had to have a sit down moment with her and tell her to shut the fuck up.
Well, what shut her
damn.
What shut her the fuck up is when she had to have that brain surgery, and she was humbled for how rotten she was and how good Detroit fans were for her supporting her. Now, mind you, if Matt Stafford didn't break his back, literally, he broke his back for us. We would be on here like, oh, go fuck that bitch. We would have literally said that. But
I
if
don't
Matt
have
Stafford,
anything bad to say about her, whatever that we got some good years with Matt Stafford here, but I would definitely, if I were like, or him or Mahomes, I would have to have a sit down moment with the wife and be like, you really just need to shut the fuck up. like, and
Pretty
not
much.
do that to me, because it comes back to them. They don't point the finger at the ladies. They'll point the finger at Mahomes or at Stafford. You know what I mean? And they can't control, whatever comes out of their wives' mouths, and they have the right to say what they want to say or whatever. But like, I know if I was in them in either of their shoes, I would have to be like, hey, you got to chill the fuck out. Like, don't.
So for Super Bowl, I'm predicting a score 42-37 Eagles.
And I'm going to go 37-31.
It's going to be a one-score game. One-score game.
It's going to be a one-score game.
We're there.
I think it's going to be the experience that comes into play. What are you cooking for Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Food's important for Super Bowl Sunday. I feel like
food is important. Now, staples, you can't go wrong with wings, but you have to have a sauce that's good for it. You don't want it too messy to where you're paying more attention to cleaning your fucking hands than watching the game. Granted, you ever been to a pro football game? NFL game?
Years.
Okay, then since it's probably changed for you, as you know, this year I went to 2 of them, and then that was it. I thought I was going to go to more. That money ran out. There are so many timeouts, TV timeouts in an NFL game. I was kind of questioning myself, why do they even call timeout on the field at all? They call so many TV timeouts. There's like 30 of them within a game. I would never spend my timeouts if I was a coach.
I mean, that makes sense. I never really thought about that before.
Like serious, because me, my cousin and my buddy, we were just sitting there going, seriously, another timeout? Seriously? And it didn't count against any team. It was a TV timeout.
Huh. Interesting.
So that's the one thing that's crazy.
College games, they do the same thing, because I went to a Michigan game a few years ago with a buddy, and there's a lot of timeouts like that for TV. I remember now.
I feel the stoppage really hurts. You know what I'm saying? Because in all reality, a football game can be done within an hour and a half.
Well, if then they have like played through and stuff like that.
Yeah, played straight through and everything. But as far as
like
food,
a 3.5 hour excursion.
Yeah, as far as food, pizza, that's always a good option. Nachos, I think that's a football staple. You have to have a plate of nachos. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Dipping items, whether it be you're trying to be healthy with veggies, but then again, you can douse as much ranch as you want. You're still going to get the nutrients from it.
Right.
Chips and dip, that's a usually good thing. Like 7-layer bean dip, where you're just sitting there scraping the bottom.
Nice. That's a good one. You know what's really good and cheap and very easy to make is get yourself some Hormel chili.
Oh, yes.
You can.
Do I hear Velveeta coming up?
Philly cream cheese.
Oh.
Put that shit together. Melt it together. It all together. That is a bomb-ass dip for fucking Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you, it is so good. Yeah. And you know who put me up on that? Mama Collins used to make that for him. Mama Buds.
Mama Buds
used to make that when we were, when I was young. That was one of her.
Nice, man.
Too. Yeah, it's cheap and easy, and it tastes so good. And it's
my buddy.
Football games, like you said, chicken wings.
Oh yeah. My buddy does cream cheese, chicken, and taco seasoning. Ooh. And puts it in a crock pot, and it's addictive. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, man.
That does sound good.
Yeah, that's.
You said chicken wings.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you something about chicken wings. My wife, Mrs. Buds, makes the best chicken wings in the world.
Oh, the whole wide world?
And she bakes them in the oven. I call them legendary chicken wings. I call them legendary because
I'm not gonna lie. I like mine baked in the oven. I do. 400 degrees. So, get them going. Crispy.
A little bit of salt and pepper and garlic to get them going. You throw them in the oven. You bake them for a while.
GSP, baby.
You don't put the sauce on first. Like, I don't know about you, but we're old school here. So when we're barbecuing up our wings, because I can't have spicy wings no more just because of what's going on in my guts.
Respectively.
But open pit, just old school open pit barbecue sauce, man. And put it, baste them with that, throw them back in the oven, baste them again, throw them back in the oven. And then she puts them in to crisp them up a little bit in the broiler for about 5 minutes. They come fucking bomb. They come out so bomb with, minimal ingredients, salt, pepper, garlic, open pit. That's all you need.
Hell, I might even do my Mexican lasagna. I make a pretty good one. It's better than what anything Taco Bell can ever give you.
And or like good. If you want to get real fancy, guys, I'm gonna give you one of my ancient Chinese secrets here when it comes to barbecue, which we never did our barbecue episode last year. That's gotta happen this year.
Oh yeah.
Gotta happen. But dude, prime rib. And I could tell you how to smoke a bomb ass one, and I'm going to right now. So
all right.
You give your prime rib, get yourself a good chunk of prime rib. I mean, rib roast, whatever you want to call it. Make sure it's got a good amount of fat on there because that's where all the flavor is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what you do is you mix up equal parts of salted butter and beef stock, not beef base, beef stock.
Mm-hmm.
And give that prime rib a bath in it. Give it a bath, cover it, smother it in it. Then you put it on your grill. I don't know if you guys know anything about the snake method. If you don't, go on YouTube and check it out. It's very easy. I use charcoal. I'm old school. So you make yourself a snake with the charcoal and you get that bitch burning at about 200 degrees. It's about as hot as you want it. You don't want it no hotter than that. 200 degrees and give it about an hour per pound.
Mm-hmm.
And so, 5 pounds, 5 hours. Okay. Right around there, you should be about 125-ish. I mean, you should take temps, take temps throughout or whatever. You take that bitch out at 125 and you rest it for an hour, maybe even 2 hours.
Now, are you towel wrapping it or anything? Or are you just
just rest it? I throw it over. I just throw some tinfoil over it. Rest it for about an hour. Hour's usually good. You'll be at about 135 by then, and you'll thank me later. That shit will be falling apart. You won't even need a knife to cut it.
Ooh,
that's another good idea for Super Bowl Sunday. I know I shouldn't be giving up all my secrets on the Weber, but that's something I do enjoy doing is cooking on the Weber.
Well, that sounds good, brother.
And so yeah, I mean, those are just some ideas for you Super Bowl Sunday. Now, you got anything before we get out of here?
Be 1% better today than you were yesterday.
I dig it. I love it.
And try to give a little bit of kindness back. I'm not asking for a huge slice, just a pinch.
That's right. That's right. We got to be good to each other, man. There's too much bullshit in the world for us to be at each other's throat right now. We need to have each other's backs. We need to be on the same team because it's us versus them. And if we don't get it together, they're going to eat us is what's going to happen. But we could eat them if we could just figure it out amongst ourselves, figuratively, of course, not literally. I'm not trying to eat people. You got to watch what you say. But there is one thing I want to talk about before we get out of here. And with having to put my dog down or whatever, because, I rescued him out of an abandoned house about 9.5 years ago. And so I feel like we just rescued him. You know what I mean? Like he was already 3 years old when we got him. He's 12.5. He lived a good life. But, it made me think about time and how fast that time went. I mean, 9.5 years, seriously, I feel like it just happened. And then I got this, I started thinking, because I had a shit ton of time on my hands. I've been off work and stuff with being sick, which I'm allowed to be back to work. Y'all in Southeast Michigan, if you need a painter, call me. I got you. I'm really good at it and I'm insured. But anyways, I thought about time and how fast it really goes. And how people will always, oh, you got all this time or you have all the time in the world.
Yep.
You don't. You really don't. And it starts off when you're a kid, right? And you're a kid and you can't wait to be a teenager. And then, bam, you're a fucking teenager. It happens so fast. And then you get there and then you got to wait a few years to get your driver's license. And then, bam, you got your fucking driver's license. It happens that fast. And then you're like, oh man, 18 can't come fast enough. Boom, you're 18. Same thing with 21. Then all of a sudden you're fucking 30. Then all of a sudden you're creeping up on your 43rd birthday. And it happens so fast. It literally happens so fast. And you can attest to it. And life.
I say this all the time with me and my cousin at work, dude. We talk about the old days and we are sounding like those people we used to see all the time talk about back in the day and nothing about the future. And the moment's now. If you haven't done it, do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Seriously, if you haven't done it, stop sitting on your hands. That
you
thing
know,
you wanted to go do it.
That's right. That's right. And that's exactly what I'm getting at, because, you know, life goes by fast. And if you take a breath, it'll pass you right by. So like Bubba said, you know, whatever you thought about doing, go do it. Smoke the joint, take the shrooms, do the shot, ask the girl out, ask the guy out, go jump out of an airplane with a parachute, of course. You know, go climb a mountain, go hiking in a mountain, go do something you always wanted to fucking do, because we're running out of time. We don't have a lot of it. And that's the moral of the story, you guys. Like,
you miss all the shots you never take in life.
Yeah, now is the time to take your shots, because everything goes by so fast, and you don't want to wake up, you know, when you're 75 going, the fuck did I do with my life? No, whatever you want to do, go do it. Make it happen. Figure it out. Go grind if you need to grind to make your things that you want to happen. And with that, I'm closing, man. Much love, y'all. Much love.